Hey everybody, what's up? Today I want to discuss Fallout 4. This game is... I can't stop playing it. But there's something more exciting than just playing Fallout 4 that I'm looking forward to, and that would be Fallout 4's mods. They are already on PC, and I've already seen some changes to the dialogue system, a couple of changes to the graphics that basically amounted to really nothing more than saturation at the time of this video, and some other small little things like enhanced blood effects and things like that, which I think already is pretty cool. But the potential for some pretty incredible mods is down the road, and they're coming to consoles. And with this video, I want to discuss what we as console players could safely expect to transfer over from the PC. We all know Fallout 4 is a pretty great game. There's a lot of pros to it and not many cons, but some of the cons that have been discussed by various reviewers and people who have played Fallout 4 extensively are issues with some of the graphics, the dialogue system, just some things that kind of need to be added a bit here and there to help make the game feel more full. And what I mean by that is Bethesda games in the past, Oblivion, Skyrim, Fallout 3, they all felt like they were missing things at key points within the game, or with their mechanics or depth. Things were missing, so mods came out to kind of patch that depth in and make things that much more cohesive and full feeling. Fallout 4 definitely so far, in my opinion, is the most full of all the past Bethesda games. I mean, that's just my opinion. Other people might think Skyrim was more fully featured at launch, or that Oblivion was, or Fallout 3 was, or what have you. But that all aside, some of the most popular mods right now are a completely full dialogue interface that harkens back to the way Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas did it, which I think a lot of people would prefer over the current, simpler, consoleized system. Next we have Fallout 4 configuration tools for PC users mainly. I wouldn't see this coming to consoles at all. Maybe, I'm hoping we will have the ability on consoles to change our settings. Like we could add or take away things based on our preference, and why we probably couldn't reach ultra settings at 60 frames per second. We could give up a couple settings to maybe get a better frame rate, or we could have the ability to trade off one setting for another setting that would fit our visual preference and still stay at that 30 frame rate mark. At the time of making this video, most mods are basically boiled down to nothing more than small increases to immersion. You've got better water enhancement textures, you have more armor slots. There's a mod that allows, when you use your headlamps or your Pip-Boy light, that light casts shadows, and I think stuff like that is really cool. Will we see mods like those on the consoles, though? I'm not sure, because having your Pip-Boy or your headlamps cast shadows would severely drain the resources of the console, which are limited, as most people know. However, if someone finds a way to optimize the game, there have been mods for Skyrim, I know, that optimized it greatly until they patched it officially that did the same thing. So if someone eventually, say, majorly optimizes the entirety of the engine, they could potentially port over that same optimization to consoles. Maybe. It might be easier or harder depending on how it's actually implemented, but if it's done knowingly for the consoles, specifically PS4 and Xbox One, if it's done with those consoles in mind, there's the potential in my eyes to see some sizable graphical upgrades to the console versions of the game, like for example having shadows that extend farther than 40 feet outside in the exterior worlds, or having level of detail in the distance amped up to at least PC medium or high settings, because right now it's like it's the lowest, and it's kind of off-putting if you really look at the differences side by side. But unless we get that special optimization of some kind, I feel like it would be incredibly unlikely for purely visual mods to make the jump over to consoles. I feel like texture replacements, as long as they're not triple or quadruple the density or quality, I feel like, yeah, we could get texture replacements, we could get tons of additional content. I don't feel like additional content would be an issue unless it was designed in a way to push computers to their... One of the current mods out right now that gives a lot of extra content, at least to settlement building, is called Settlement Supplies Expanded, or SSEX. And this adds over 400 more objects to be placed in settlements, working beds, cars, doors, food planters, and a lot more than that. So stuff like that I feel would be really, really cool to be added to the game, and I think that would totally be feasible on the consoles. It shouldn't be too performance heavy. Will we be seeing paid or premium mods on the consoles that require us to spend money? Oh god, no. No, I don't think we'll see that ever again. That failed hard on Steam. It was an experiment by Steam and Valve to help monetize some of the better mods out there, and everybody hated it. There was such a large backlash. I don't think we will ever have to worry about that as, you know, console or PC players. Now, if I had to make a list of mods that wouldn't make it to the console under any circumstance, it would probably be some of the biggest mods, like the overhaul mods. I don't know if you've seen any of them for Skyrim or Oblivion, but these mods would totally change the way combat mechanics work, or how AI works on a fundamental level. It would add a ton of new features, or maybe possibly huge new regions to the game. I don't know if stuff like that would carry on through, only because of what would be needed behind those mods to actually power them. I just don't know if the consoles can do it, and I don't know if Bethesda would let us even try for that matter. But, I mean, at this point, I'd be happy if we just got the ability to change our own settings, or optimize the game. Stuff like that would be appreciated more than anything else so far. But I think a lot of the other mods will get. But in the end of the day, time will tell what we get and what we don't get. We just have to wait for the whole thing to start, and we'll go from there. And it would also be safe to expect that we won't be getting any ENB mods or really major overhauls that make the game look like it should be for next gen. We're not going to get anything like that. The consoles just simply, they can't handle it. Maybe next generation, who knows? But no, yeah, right now, expect gameplay additions, expect texture work maybe, as long as it's a replacement and not an improvement. Expect new AI characters, new weapons, some new features, as long as they're not major game-changing overhauls. And, you know, new sound, new music, stuff like that. I would be totally within the realm of possibility in my mind. It just depends on the system itself, what it allows, what it's, and what Bethesda has plans for it. But honestly, when it comes down to it, if you want the full breadth of PC mods, then obviously you're going to want to be on PC, and that means getting a pretty beefy rig and anything else you would need to maximize the game for you. I know for me, when I played Skyrim back on the PC, when I had a PC and it didn't blow up, I would max out Skyrim as much as I could, but there were limits within the engine itself. I know once it reached a certain amount of RAM being used, the program itself, it would crash, always, and that made it really, really challenging. So I hope in that regard that Fallout 4 doesn't have the same limitations. I hope it wouldn't, because, come on, that was like 4 years ago. I'm hoping for the next game that for the next Elder Scrolls, we need a new engine or a complete retooling of the current engine we have now, because it's starting to show its age with things like animation, facial animations, textures. The lighting is great, and some of the texture work is great. It's just there's a lot of other things that are relics from way back in the day. And that pretty much concludes my thought on mods being on the consoles, what we're going to get from PC, and everything on that point. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. Hit that button all day long. I'd really appreciate it. It helps me out a lot. And if you like these videos, feel free to subscribe for more. I plan on doing Let's Plays for Fallout 4, stuff like surviving on the hardest difficulty with 1 life. If I die, I have to restart the entirety of the game. Stuff like that is really thrilling to me. I did it with Skyrim. I'm going to do it with this game. Hell, I love doing that stuff with any real big open world sandbox game like this. It's just a ton of fun to do, and I hope you guys enjoy those videos as you enjoy these. If you're not feeling too shy, leave a comment down below and tell me what you think we will be seeing as far as mods in regards to the console versions of Fallout 4. You guys have a great one, stay active, and I will catch you next time.